Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is Isaac, and today I'm going to help you assemble your 15-foot by 8-foot outdoor storage shed. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your shed is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that comes with your shed. So if you've already begun and need help with a specific step, check the description below for a timestamp associated with each step. There are steps in this assembly that require 2 people, so make sure you have at least one other adult available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You may want to pause the video now so you can gather the supplies shown on the screen. Also, you may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be careful not to over torque or over tighten the hardware. You'll also need additional tools to prepare a foundation for your shed, so refer to your manual to see what other supplies you will need. All Lifetime sheds are required to be built on a foundation. We recommend you build your foundation out of concrete, but you can also use lumber. This video is meant to be a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement. So for the best results, have the assembly manual on hand as you complete the build. It's also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions of this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. All right, let's get started. This section goes over the requirements of the foundation for your shed. This video will focus on the assembly of the shed and not of the foundation. So refer to your manual in section 1 to see how to properly build a foundation for your shed. If you have any other questions regarding the foundation, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team at the number below. There are 2 different types of gutter channels. One with a notch and one without. For this step, you'll need one of each. In this hardware bag, most of the bolts are long like this one. There is, however, one that is shorter, and you'll use this later in the section. Line up the holes in the gutter channels with the holes in the connector and secure with the hardware. Be careful not to over tighten this hardware. Line up the holes in the middle of the gutter channels with the holes to the ends of the truss brace and secure the hardware, making sure the head of the bolt is on the inside of the gutter channel. To make tightening this hardware easier, I like to use a pair of vice grips with a Phillips head bit. Insert the truss rod going through the connector piece and truss brace and secure with a nut on each end. Only tighten this hardware until the truss rod doesn't wiggle. Repeat the previous steps for another truss assembly, making sure one gutter channel has a slit and the other is a regular one. Repeat these steps for another 2 truss assemblies, except this time, neither of the gutter channels will have a notch at the end. Line up the holes at the end of a gutter channel and a short gutter channel, which is the one with the square hole in it, with the holes in the connector piece and secure with the hardware. Line up the holes in the middle of the long gutter channel with the holes at the end of a truss brace and secure the hardware. Line the holes at the end of the short gutter channel with the holes at the end of the truss brace. Then add the vertical truss brace, oriented like this, and secure the hardware. Line up the holes in the middle of the short gutter channel with the holes at the end of the horizontal truss brace and secure the hardware. Line the holes in the center of the horizontal truss brace with the holes at the end of the vertical truss brace and secure the hardware. This hardware will be the shorter bolt that we mentioned earlier. Insert the truss rod through the connector and truss brace and secure with a nut on each end. Attach the L bracket to this hole on the horizontal truss brace, making sure to go through the oblong hole oriented like this. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Insert the support tube into the square hole on the short gutter channel, making sure the flat edge is facing the vertical truss brace. Take 2 gable halves, line them up in the center, and secure with the hardware. Line the holes in the screen, the holes in the vent. Place on the front side of the gable and secure with the hardware on the back. Repeat the previous steps for a second gable. Take the small square tube and insert a cap into each end. Place the tube onto the small gable, making sure the dimpled holes go against the gable and the dimpled hole in the center is facing the bottom of the gable. Line up the oblong holes with the divots and secure the hardware. Take the left door, which is the one with the Lifetime logo, line the holes in the tube with the holes in the door. Then insert the tube into the square hole at the bottom of the door, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out at the end. Insert the cap into the tube. Then finish sliding until it's flush with the bottom of the door. Place the latch bracket on the front of the door, oriented like this, and secure the hardware. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Locate these divots at the top and bottom of the door and drill them out with the provided drill bit, making sure to only go through the first layer of metal. At the top of the door, place a spacer over the holes you just drilled out, making sure the spacer reads up. Place the lock over the spacer, oriented like this, then secure with the self-tapping screws. Repeat this process at the bottom of the door, making sure you can read the word down. Connect the 2 halves of the handle together. Place on the front side of the door and secure the hardware on the back. Insert a hinge tube into the opposite edge of the door, making sure to leave some hanging out on each end. Take the right door and line up the holes in the tube with the holes in the door. Then slide the tube into the bottom of the door, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out at the end. Insert the cap into the end of the tube. Then finish sliding until it's flush with the bottom of the door. Locate this divot on the bottom of the door, then insert the self-tapping screw to secure the tube in place. Place the locking hardware on the front of the door, oriented like this, then secure the hardware. Connect the two halves of the handle together. Place on the front of the door and secure with hardware on the back. When adding the long screws, make sure they go through this bracket, oriented like this first. Insert the hinge tube into the opposite edge of the door, making sure to leave some of the hinge tube hanging out on each end. The floors of the shed may be shipped folded. Lay them out and unfold them. Once the panels are unfolded, connect the first two panels together by lifting one up at an angle, interlocking the tabs, and setting it back down. The orientation of this second panel doesn't matter, but the orientation of the third panel does, since the doors will be attached to this panel. You want to make sure that there's a round hole in this corner. So we'll have to flip this panel 180 degrees. The orientation of the fourth panel also matters, since the door will be connecting to it as well. You want to make sure that this round hole is away from the seam of the third panel. Continue connecting the rest of the panels. The orientation of these last two does not matter. Secure the floor panels together by inserting a screw into each divot along each seam. The doors can go on either long edge. For this video, we're going to put our doors here, so we'll be adding the strike plate to this cutout on the center seam. Take 5 of the regular wall panels and insert a wall support into the center channel, making sure the 2 holes that are close together are at the top of the panel. Line up the holes with the divots and secure with the screws. Take the narrow wall panel that has these holes in it and insert a wall support into this channel, making sure the 2 holes that are close together go at the top of the panel. Take the other narrow wall panel and insert a wall support into this channel, making sure the 2 holes that are close together go at the top of the panel. Take the 2 window wall panels and add a wall support to these channels, making sure the 2 holes that are close together go at the top of the panel. On the same edge where you added the strike plate, insert the tabs at the bottom of the narrow wall panel that has the cutout in this location to the 7th and 8th cutout away from this corner. Slide the panel towards the strike plate to lock it in place. I'm comfortable tapping with my foot, but if you're not, use a block and a rubber mallet. Add a window wall panel next to the previous panel using the same method. Make sure the panels are even at the top, then secure with the 5 screws. Take the corner panel labeled AGW or back right and insert the tabs at the bottom of this section of the panel into these cutouts in the corner. Lean the panel away from the floor, fold it in half, line up the tabs in the panel with the cutouts on the floor, and apply downward pressure to lock it into place. If you're having a difficult time getting the tabs to lock into place a block under each tab individually and apply downward pressure. Make sure that the panels are level at the top and secure with the hardware. Now you can add 2 regular wall panels without wall supports to this edge. Now add the corner panel labeled AGL or back left to this corner using the same method as the first corner. Now add 5 regular wall panels that do have a wall support to this edge. Now add the corner panel labeled AGW or back right to this corner using the same method as the other corners. Add the other 2 wall panels that do not have a wall support to this edge. Add the corner panel labeled AGL or back left to this corner. Add the other window panel here. And the other narrow wall panel next to the window panel. In the opening, locate these 2 round holes and add the bushings from the bottom going up. With the help of another person, lift a large cable on top of this wall, line up the holes with the divots, and secure the hardware. Now lift a truss assembly that does not have a notch on the end into these cutouts closest to the gable. While you continue to hold the truss, have someone else lift a roof panel inside the gutter channel and on top of the gable. You'll know the roof is in the correct position when the alignment nub rests in this notch. Now secure the roof to the wall through these 4 holes. Then secure to the truss through these 2 holes. Now secure to the gable through the lower 2 holes. Then insert a roof support into the notch of the gable and roof. Finish securing the roof panel through the 2 holes in the gable and 1 on the truss. Now repeat the process, adding another roof panel on the opposite side. Add a truss assembly that has a notch into the next set of cutouts, making sure you add the notch to the open cutout. As you continue to hold the truss, add the roof panels using the same method as the previous panels. Repeat the previous process, adding another gable, 2 more truss assemblies, and 4 more roof panels. Place this end of the center truss assembly into this notch. Rotate the assembly up so the holes in the ends of the support tube line with the holes in the center of the gutter channels. Then secure the support tubes to the gutter channels with the hardware. Now you can add the other 2 roof panels to the back wall. Insert the hinge tube of the left door into the bushing, making sure the hole in the hinge tube lines up with the slit in the bushing. Insert the cotter pin from the outside going in, then flare the ends to lock into place. Repeat the previous step with the right door. Place the small gable on top of the hinge tubes, making sure these tabs rest inside the gutter channels. Place the center truss into the notch on the gable. Secure the L bracket to the gable, then finish tightening the hardware on the L bracket. Add the drainage plate to this location here, making sure this edge rests in this slit of the gable. Then secure with the hardware. Repeat on the opposite side. Take the large angled roof panel and fold these tabs up. Then place on top of the gable and center truss. Now secure the panel to the gable and truss with the 12 screws. Then secure the drainage plate to the panel through these holes. Place a small angled roof piece on top of the previous panel, then secure through these 2 holes. Place the triangular roof pieces on top of the roof, making sure they lay flush. Secure the panels to the other panels and truss assembly with the hardware. Take the roof cap labeled AGG and place it on top of the gable, then secure with the 4 screws. Take the roof cap labeled AFY and place it on top of the previous panel and truss and secure them to both. Repeat this process 4 more times with the roof caps labeled AFY down the length of the shed. The final roof cap is labeled AFW and will be placed in the previous panel and over the gable. Take a skylight, fold it in half, place in the opening, line up the holes with the tabs, then secure with the hardware. To avoid damaging the skylight, be careful tightening this hardware. Repeat this process for the 5 remaining skylights. On the short edge, add the clips to the holes, making sure the arrow is pointing up. Now we need to add the wall supports to the wall panels on the short edge. For the panel on the right, we'll be adding the wall support directly in center of the cutout. For the panel on the left, we'll be adding it just right of center. Repeat this on the opposite short edge. There are 3 height settings you can choose for the shelf. Those are indicated by these divots here. Once you decided what height you want your shelf at, add the triangle shelf brackets to the wall supports on the short edge at the height you chose. Insert the screw anchors into the divots for the height you chose for the shelf. Place the shelf brackets over the screw anchors that you just added, securing through the oblong holes. The shelves may be folded. You'll need to unfold them like this. On the underside, you'll need to add the shelf support tubes to these notches here. Make sure they click into place. Place the shelf on top of the brackets, making sure the word front is facing the center of the shed. Then secure the shelf to the brackets using 2 screws each. It may be helpful to have someone else on the outside of the shed push on the corners to help the holes to line up. Repeat this process on the other side of the shed. In the channels next to the window, you'll notice these faint indicators. Once you locate those, you'll add the hardware for the shutters going through the wall. It's normal if the screws continue to spin. They need to spin so they can catch the shutters on the outside of the shed. For the shutter on the right side of the window, you want to line up the hardware with the divots that say 8R. Once the screws are inside of the divots, have someone else go inside and continue to spin the screws until the shutter is secure. Repeat this process for the shutter on the left, making sure the screws go into the divots labeled 8L. Repeat this process for the other window. Take a window and remove the plastic film from both sides. Place the window inside the frame so the angle part is at the top, facing inside the shed. Insert the small screw into the hole at the bottom of the window. Place the window latches over the divots, oriented like this, and secure the hardware. Don't fully tighten this hardware. The window latches should slide freely. Repeat this process for the other window. Next, you want to make sure that the doors are level. Click on this link here to see a video, or refer to your manual in section 12 to see how to properly level your doors. If you have any other questions about leveling your doors, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team at the number below. Once your doors are level, go inside, have someone lock the door behind you, and tighten the hardware that we left loose on the left door. This section goes over how to anchor your shed to its foundation. Since we're inside, we're not going to be able to do that, but it's important that you do, so refer to your manual in section 13 to see how to properly anchor your shed to its foundation. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your Lifetime 15-foot by 8-foot outdoor storage shed. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other amazing products at lifetime.com.